So today I'm going to be talking about the bash plate that I've installed on my Nissan Xtrail T30. It's an aluminium bash plate. It's 6mm thick and it's made by a company called ASFIR, South African company. I purchased it from Pedders Suspension a while back, and my understanding is that this is the last that they have in the whole of Australia. They won't import any more of these because of demand. This is a bolt-on pad, and I'll show you where it's mounted underneath the car, and let's get to it. Okay, so looking at it from the front, we have 4 mounting points on the front, 2 bolts on each side. So if you look under your Nissan X-trail, there'll be like a cross member that runs from the point here down to the other one. And if you look at that bar, you'll see that there's 4 holes. A smaller one here, bigger bolt, smaller one, and a bigger one. And that's where the bash plate mounts. So 4 bolts on the front, and there are quite a few holes on the bash plate to give you access to the engine support, transmission support, cross members and everything like that underneath the car, and a few more there down as well. Onto the side, you can see it from that angle. So when I installed it, you can still retain the side plastic covers, but I just had to tuck it in. I just like force tuck it in underneath the, on top of the bash plate, 6mm thick. Access to the oil filter is there. You can still change the oil filter without having to remove the bash plate, but you will you'd be better off removing the right hand tire, front tire, to have easier access to it now. But you can do it. You don't have to remove the bash plate to change the oil. So as you can see, it's well covered underneath. The biggest concern you'll have with these cars is that the transmission is on this side, on the left side, and you'll notice that the oil pan is hanging really low, and that's going to be a major issue if you don't have a bash plate. So that covers it quite well. Okay, so here we are underneath on the rear end of the bash plate. So I'll zoom it out a little bit. So you'll have your control arms just behind it. If you can see it, that's the it's a large kind of a cross member underneath here. There's only 2 bolts, that one and that one, if it can focus. There you go. And so how it is on the back is there's going to be holes like these ones in here, which is where the bolt's going to go through, and then you'll have like a big hole here, there, and on the other side. And in the photo, if you look at the photo that I've put up for the bash plate, on the rear you have a couple of steel plates, flat steel plates. So how it works is that the bolt goes through the existing hole, and then on top of that, on the other side, you'll have the steel plate going through the bolt, and then you then position the steel plate up here and inside of here. Just the steel plate's basically just to give you support to hold on for the weight of the bash plate, to hold on to the cross member as well on the other side. And again, you have some access holes for the drain plug of your oil pan of the engine if you want to drain it to change oil. It's about, I think it's about 12 kgs in weight, and I've never had any issues with that. One thing that people say about bash plates is that since it seals underneath the vehicle, some of them has issues with cooling and that sort of thing. I've never had any issues with cooling. Drove on the beach, high temperatures and everything like that. Never had an issue with my cooling, my temperatures going up. So I'm quite happy with that. As you can see, since it's, you know, designs like this from a good company, they put things like holes in front, obviously to get the air in and you know, help disperse that heat. So I'm pretty happy with this. If you can make yourself your own bash plate, I would highly recommend that you do. It is a not only very good insurance, but you need it. You know, especially if you're going to cross puddles and rivers, you never know what's underneath. And as I say, the transmission is hanging really low down there, and once you hit a rock or, you know, a mound of dirt or anything, that's it. You're not going anywhere. And it's going to be an expensive exercise to get your vehicle out, you know, wherever you are. One thing worth noting with this design of this bash plate is that it's tucked away really high up against the underneath of the vehicle, so your ground clearance doesn't get affected much. If you can see, it's tucked away high. It hardly affects your ground clearance, which is sometimes an issue with custom-made bash plates. So just bear in mind with when you get one made, custom-made, you know, it's worth designing it properly and taking note of the effects it will have with your ground clearance. So if you can tuck it away as close as possible, that'll be good. I'll be doing more videos showing modifications I've done on the Nissan X-Trail. So don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.